Yeah, what it is. What's going on, man? What's going on to the crew? Coming on in here, kicking it with the fellas for about maybe 30 minutes to try and keep these joints 30 minutes or less. Because you know how it is, man. Cats out there got a low attention span. So I think 30 is the sweet spot. I don't know. It all depends, man. Depends how I'm feeling. If I really get into the zone, it might go past 30. Want to comment on a little something, man, that I noticed while I'm in these YouTube streets. Yeah, man, just walking around, kicking it, minding my own business, and I seen something developing. I'm late to the table, but it ain't never really too late to chime on in and give my opinion on it. For those that's in the know, that travel in these circles, there's a cat named Coach Greg Adams, and there's this other dude by the name of Tony Gaskins. Both of them are pretty successful YouTubers. I mean, for real, they doing their thing on the YouTube side, bro, for real. So at the end of this, just know and understand that, I'm not really throwing no shade because I really can't compare to neither one of these dudes when it comes to success on YouTube. But when it comes to life and life experience, yeah, I can get with all of them. And in some areas, I just might be able to surpass them. Just that my business acumen is not as top notch as theirs, no doubt. And really, where the rubber meets the road, that's the main thing that really counts. Your business sense, your ability to make money. I've always had the ability to make money, just to make just enough just to get by. And also to do it by my own devices and calling my own shots and by not working for somebody else. I've always been able to do that. But like I said, before I get started, just want to give props to both of these individuals for being successful on the business tip. I thoroughly and unequivocally respect that. Now, some of the other stuff, we're going to have to get into that. Let's go. Before I start commenting on things, we're going to have to listen to their spiel. We're going to have to listen to what come out of their mouth. And then I'm going to summarize it, and I'm going to give my reaction to what we are.
We had us, some punks on the page and really hoping that the punks get their life together. Because I'm going to tell you, one of the things about these free agent lifestyle men and all of that right there, some of them is trying to compare those of us who were out and about womanizing in our teens to the men who are womanizing in their 40s and 50s. And that is completely, utterly, totally different. Because it's one thing to be a teenager and to be young, to be ignorant and to be dumb, than to be a old fool, to be in your 30s, 40s, 50s, still womanizing. But it's not even just the womanizing that's bad, it's the promoting of the womanizing.
We're running into some issues here. We're running into some problems right here. Big time, man. He's giving me white knight vibes, man. Big time simp vibes, man. Why do you say that, Mac? Well, because, why does he care if another man womanizes in his 40s and 50s versus when he womanized when he was in his teens? Everything in due time, brother. You know what I mean? Some cats get it while they're young. Some cats get it when they old. Just all depends on your timeline, man. Just depends on your skill set. So he wants to demonize brothers that may have been late bloomers. You know what I mean? Yeah. I know a lot of cats, man, they just couldn't get it together as far as they catch hand when they was teenagers. Big deal, bro. For real. Like, what prompted this dude to jump off his porch, man, and Start this, man. This is, to me, this is very problematic. I don't like this.
That's even worse. So if you want to live that type of lifestyle and you want to womanize, okay, go ahead and womanize, but keep that between you.
And I don't like that term he using, womanize. What does he mean by that? I mean, that's got a very negative connotation to it. From what I can see, from what I do know of Coach Greg Adams, he calls it the free agent lifestyle. He's a free agent. He comes and goes and sees who he pleases. And this is being demonized because he is not beholden to anyone. He's not shackled down by anyone. He doesn't owe anybody anything. He move and he do what he do when he feel like doing it. Yeah. That's a bad thing. Why? Because he's in his 40s and 50s, I guess.
And Satan, because nobody else needs to know about it. And the thing what's crazy to me is men coaching men on how to be a degenerate. So you got this coach out there that these guys they were putting CGA, and I think that stands for Coach Greg Adams. I didn't even know the man name. I'm talking about the free agent lifestyle. I ain't even know the man name or who, if he the one who started it or whatever. Of course he didn't start it, but to brand it means that you're a down low brother, most likely. Because real
What? Oh man, this dude, he talking greasy, man. Like who? Like it's obvious right about now that CGA didn't start this. CGA did not start this. This dude, for whatever reason, he got a bee in his bonnet to just talk cash nonsense to CGA for whatever reason, man. You call him down low and a degenerate because he's not married, I guess. And he's in his 50s and he wants to travel the world and enjoy the world and enjoy the different flavors of females. That's degenerate. Okay.
men don't kiss and tell. Men who really about that lifestyle, men who really about that womanizing, about that sleeping around, about that tricking off, you don't turn that into a business.
Why don't you turn it into a business? If there's a lot of cats out there that's interested in how you get down, what you did and how you did it, why not turn it into a business? He's not kissing and telling just to be doing it. You're putting a price on it. There's money involved. I believe that's respectable right there. Yeah, man. When you do something and you do it good, you should never do it for free. And obviously, he's very good at what he does. Why not attach a monetary value to it, bro? Yeah. Now I can see if you was out here and that there was no business attached to the kissing and telling, then I think you would actually have a point there. If there was actually no benefit from him going around saying, I did this and I did that with this female and with that female, yeah, to me, that would be ridiculous. Why do that? Why be opening up your mouth and talking about how many women you knocking down? I mean, just for ego's sake, there's no monetary value involved. Yeah, at least there's a reason. There's a viable, ironclad reason why he's doing it. He's on YouTube and there's an audience for it and he's getting paid to do it. Right now, Mr. Gaskins, he just really sounds like a world-class hater, bro.
And so think about this. You got these situations where you have these men who are coaching other men and telling them, don't get married, remain single, sleep around. What sense does that make? Because if you get into a marriage, I just celebrated 19 years of marriage. I am a millionaire. I have countless businesses. I have millions of followers online, and I'm not losing anything in a divorce court. You know why? Because I'm a man.
Okay. As far as the marriage is concerned, I don't know if I've ever heard CGA say don't never get married. I don't know if he's ever said that. I know he looks down on it because he was in a marriage and it was problematic because he had to go through a divorce and whatever. But I don't know if he's ever actually came out and gave a blanket statement stating do not ever get married and stuff. Now, what I will do with Mr. Gaskins here is I will say, as far as getting married and having your woman in pocket, having your woman in check, having the ability to choose the right woman for you, you should be safe when you're in a marriage, man. You should be safe because any woman that I ever get with, I'm not ever going to cohabitate with a woman or be with a woman or marry a woman unless I know absolutely for sure that I control the reins of the relationship, man. And for those that don't know, that's what I'm in right now. I'm actually in a marriage. I have been separated since 2008. Why? Because, and it wasn't because of the woman, it was because of me. Because I'm a scoundrel. Because I want to do what I want to do, what I want to do it. I'm just on that. I'm on that type of time. But I messed around and I married a saint. She didn't go to divorce court. She ain't go to child support. She ain't go to alimony. She ain't, and partly because I'm a stand-up G, and whenever she needed something, I went ahead and made sure that she was good, even though we were separated. And keep in mind, we were separated, and she had a boyfriend at the time too. And I never said, "Once you ask that dude you with," you know what I mean? No, I'm the one that left her. So, yeah, I anteed up, man. But going back to what Mr. Gaskins said, if you a man, you shouldn't really be worried about divorce or divorce court or what the woman do. And I understand you dealing with the mentality of a woman, how they flip at the drop of a hat, and you don't really know what she gonna be on a year from now, a couple of years from now, because these chicks, and I think that I think a lot of dudes actually express the fact that a lot of females get bored. There ain't enough drama in a marriage, so they crave that drama so much. They just want to be out there in the streets again so that they can mess with Pookie. But I don't know why like I said, Mr. Gaskins, he sounded like a world class hater, but I have to admit that if you're doing your job, you're doing your due diligence as a man, you shouldn't really be too concerned about what the woman do as far as divorce or court or whatever. Because I've never thought, not once, that my wife was going to run the court and try and get me strung up, man. Yeah, never thought that once. Because number one, she know I'm lightweight crazy, and she ain't trying to test the waters. But for real, yeah, man. But I don't think CGA has ever said for no one to ever get married. I think he's basically just talking about, he's done with it and it ain't for him. And I think he's gave a lot of dudes, he's warned a lot of dudes about the pitfalls of marriage.
And because I'm doing my part. A woman doesn't just leave you to leave you. She don't leave you because she got bored. And that's the narrative that they pushing. They're pushing that a woman left them because they bored. If you
Yeah, I know that happens. That happens. Oh yeah. Yeah, that happens. Now look, in my travels, man, in the hood, doing all this hustling with all these females around me, uh, man, I've met a lot of females who was married, and I met a lot of females who wasn't married. And while I will say that some of these females, they did not necessarily leave they dude, but they definitely was out there on the creep and on the crowd, and on the prowl for some excitement. They definitely was on that. They wasn't trying to leave their security, but they was definitely out there trying to get into something that made their private parts tingle. Yeah, man. I mean, I would get a female up in the spot, man. We start rapping and start talking, and she start getting loose. You know what I mean? We got the weed, we got the drink. Then before you know it, she's spilling all the beans, man. Yeah, I lied. I am married. And I'm like, well, what? Well, what are you doing? What are you doing here? Just like, and then they give me all these wild excuses about why they doing what they doing. I'm like, you do know that I'm a pornographer, right? And you do know, and then they be like, yeah, I know. I'm like, are you trying to get killed? Are you trying to? You can't do porn and be married and not have your husband know. What are you doing? You know what I mean? Yeah. So what Mr. Gaskins is talking right now, he's talking out of his rectum. Yeah, man. A lot of these chicks, they do a lot of crazy stuff just in the name of getting excited. A lot of them, they see their little girlfriends out there doing the hot girl summer thing, and they be wanting it too. They be wanting to get down too, man. Like I said, I have not seen any women deliberately actually go to court just to get a divorce, but I have seen them pretty much throw the marriage away by just doing some out of pocket, reckless behavior that could pretty much get them killed. And not just them, but the dude that they with killed. You know what I mean? So, Mr. Gaskins, I don't know where you was born or where you was raised, bruh, but and I know what y'all gonna say, because these is hood chicks. No, 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 no. I was middle class for a long time, and my family, excuse me, my wife had a lot of middle class friends, and the behavior that I seen out of them was pretty much tantamount to the behavior I seen with the hood chicks. They all be wanting something exciting. They need to be excited. They need to be entertained. They need to get with a dude that's going to act like a monkey in a circus for them to entertain them. And when you ain't on that, they're gonna go elsewhere to find it. So, Mr. Gaskins, I have to disagree with you on that one, man.
You, Greg Adams' ex-wife, and you watch this video, reach out to me so we could do an interview. So you could tell your side of the story of why you left Greg. And I guarantee you it's not because she just got bored. And if a woman just get bored, that mean a man ain't doing what he's supposed to be doing.
Meaning you ain't acting like a monkey in a circus for the broad, man. Yeah. But I will say that there is wisdom in what Mr. Gaskins just said. It's two sides of every story. Yeah. Just case in point with me and my wife. A lot of people would ask, like, what happened with us because we seemed so happy. But my wife, she was always really tight-lipped about what was going on. And when I left, no one really knew what happened, man. You know what I mean? It's two sides to every story. And even though I left because she found herself a little boyfriend because she was bored, and this goes into Mr. Gaskins' favor, I ignored my wife. I ignored her. I was out there in the streets doing whatever I wanted to do, whoever I wanted to do it with, and dared her to say something about it. So she felt abused and neglected. So she found someone that was going to give her the attention that she wanted and that she needed. So yeah, there's two sides of every story, man. You know what I mean? The wife was not the bad guy in this scenario, in this equation. It was me. So I have to give Mr. Gaskins a thumbs up on that one. There's two sides of every story. And the brothers are not always in the right. Because looking at me, I was definitely in the wrong.
Point blank, period. And these men so afraid about what they're gonna lose in divorce. It's like if you're a man, everything you lose in divorce, you can make it back.
So right about now, it would appear that Homeboy's gripe with CGA is not only does he consider him down low and a degenerate because he's not married, but because he is a womanizer and he is womanizing at a late age. Okay. Now, once again, I'm trying to understand where this is coming from and why is it his business. I don't understand that. And once again, I'm trying to understand, like, who are you to say when a dude is supposed to blossom and to bloom into the womanizer or get to the womanizing phase or stage? Some cats do it early, some cats do it just right. Some cats, they only come into fruition at a late age. But I guess Mr. Gaskins, he is the arbiter of when a man is supposed to so-called be a man or not be a man. He's the sole controller of that, and everybody else must follow suit. So, okay, let's go ahead and listen to CGA, see what he got to say about this, man. This will be interesting.
The reigning and defending 14-time demonetized champion of YouTube. We got a great show for you today. The fallout continues as the simp enforcers have been uniting like Voltron in order to take down the free agent lifestyle, with the latest simp enforcer being, let me see if we can get the free agent lifestyle. The latest simp enforcer, Tony Gaskins, has taken on with a dedicated live stream to talk negatively about yours truly, the notorious one, and the free agent lifestyle. All right, for those who are joining this stream, do me a favor and hit the like button and to contribute to today's show. I'll say it again. It is $ the notorious CGA on the Cash App, Venmo, Coach Rick Adams TV, PayPal, paypal.me/Coach Rick Adams, and that is near the top of the description box on the Free Agent Lifestyle channel. And we'll just say it again. You can super chat by clicking the link on the top of the live chat on the Free Agent Lifestyle channel. Tony Gaskins is the latest simp enforcer that had a visceral reaction to him becoming aware of the free agent lifestyle. Now, let me just review something for you here. I have taken on some of the well-known midgets and simp enforcers on the internet. See, first, there was the free agent lifestyle, all right? As they say in the Bible, and God said on the first day, let there be light. And then the light was the free agent lifestyle. All right. Now, the free agent lifestyle has been one of those things that has been a controversial particular topic related to how men should look for trade-offs in their lives. Not a solution, trade-offs. You make a choice. You either take a little bit of this or take a little bit of that. That's basically what the free agent lifestyle is. And basically, it also tells men essentially and generally to warn you of what you're getting into.
I don't see nothing wrong with that. Because that's true. That's facts, man. Life is about trade-offs. Yeah. If you're going to go ahead and you're going to do the free agent lifestyle, know and understand that when you get older in your life, you may not have a woman in your corner that could just scratch your back when it needs to be scratched. You know what I mean? Because, shoot, your little sugar babies may not be around to do that. And they may not want to do that, because they ain't really into you like that. You know what I mean? But the trade-off would be you as a grown man, you can go where you please, do what you please without listening to anybody nag or bicker at you. So it just all depends on, what you value the most. You're absolutely right, Coach. It's about trade-offs, partner. If you want to run the streets and have fun, it's going to be negatives of that. If you want to go ahead and lock yourself down with a female, there's going to be some perceived negatives to that as well. Both lifestyles will have positives and negatives. It just really depends on what you want.
Just to give you a chance to make a good, clear choice. Now, since the free agent lifestyle has been going around the internet, it has been demonetized, but also it has been heavily ignored. They've ignored all of the groundwork. They've ignored all of the building, the teaching points, the building blocks of the free agent lifestyle. They avoided the conquer, the
Now, understand this. Like I said, I'm just not really getting hip to CGA, and therefore I'm just not really getting hip to his free agent lifestyle philosophy. He is, I guess, giving it a name, but almost all the players that I know pretty much live that lifestyle. We're just not coining the phrase free agent lifestyle, right? But on YouTube, if it's being demonetized, if YouTube doesn't want to promote it, you can best believe that it's actually good for you. You can best believe that it's one of those philosophies that will upset the apple cart, man. You can best believe it's something that those in power do not want you to entertain. Because emphatically, what CGA is proposing is that you become the sole controller of your life and you do what thou wilt. What YouTube wants you to do, they want you to fall in lockstep with the status quo, which means just like what he is talking about on here, a lot of people might think he's being ridiculous when he says stuff like the NWO. He ain't lying about that, man. These orders come up from on high at the very top. Those who control society, they send their orders down and they tell YouTube, this will not be accepted and this will be accepted. Any man out there professing to be a man, any man out there professing to do what he want, when he want, how he want, we must nip that in the bud. We can't have this. We must be beholden to the broad. It's all about what the woman wants. And so that's what YouTube and that's what the soul controllers and the social engineers want. And it would appear, since CGA's following the free agent lifestyle has been demonetized, they don't want it taking root. They don't want this to flourish. They do not want this to be productive.
Apologetically masculine. They also avoided the fact that I've been Costradamus. They avoided the fact that I wrote a book about it. They avoided the fact that I wrote a second book called The Evolution about it. And I've drawn these conclusions to essentially say, this is how the dating life will be. And I accurately predicted. They ignored it. And they sent their simp enforcers. So the first simp enforcer that they sent to me, all right, to try to take down and embarrass CGA was Hafiz. All right. So Hafiz in 2022 was sent directly by the New World Order to take down your boy CGA in a sneak attack organized by the SOSCAS and PBD's production team. All right. Yeah, that's what happened. There was an organized campaign sent.
I have not a clue who this Hafiz dude is.
To attack CGA. All right, so Hafiz was first. Now, there were some people behind the scenes that organized that particular chaos. All right, if you didn't know, you don't know. All right, so Hafiz was sent directly to CGA to reality onto you, which explains why they follow the manosphere guys they follow. And we need Maestro's new Claude segment on money mindset for creators ASAP. Yes, we're going to have that. I think he sent me an email, but I didn't catch up to him in time to organize that. But maybe next week. And will I be home? I'll be home for the next money mindset. So I'll be back in Las Vegas, Vegas, by the way. All right. But yeah, a lot of guys think that that's their whole thing. Oh, well, you have to pay for it. Does that make you feel better? Right. First of all, I don't. But, I don't know. It's kind of like arguing with people who are literally at the second grade. Or you have to. You got to find a girl that likes you. I'm like, oh, my God. Like, I'm so far past that. It's crazy. And not only that, I'm interested to pretty much hear what Tony Gaskins has to say about my lifestyle. I do have some guesses. I'm going to guess what he says before I listen to the video. And like I said, I haven't listened to the video, but people said he was talking negatively about the free agent lifestyle. He didn't put my name in it. He put the free agent lifestyle, which it's always funny. People are very uncomfortable saying my name directly. Have you noticed that? People will say, I heard it from someone. I kind of remember who said it. Some guy said, I don't remember. Nobody will put Coach Greg Adams in there. They will not put my name. Right? They will not put my name. All right. I don't know what it is. All right. Not even Kevin Samuels will say my name. Oh, since a gray beard guy. All right. It's like, They'll just take my shit and remix it and not give me the credit. What is going on? All right, say my name. Say my name. Say my name. Say my name, ass nigga. Good Lord. All right, what's going on?
Acknowledge me.
Some old nigga, this trick nigga. All right, what is going on? Say my name, bro. All right, come on, man. Listen, I'm inviting too much hate at this particular point, but there's nothing more dangerous in this world than being a free man and really being a free black man. They don't want you to be free, gentlemen.
Facts, man.
They don't want you to be free. Who is this nigga on this nag? Who is this nigga on this nag? They see you as free and they don't get it. They're like, what? Then they see you traveling around the world and now, they see you putting hands on hips on young women. See, they don't want none of that. All right, you dating young women, not women your age. They're like, and then dating white women, Brazilian women, Asian women, fine black women, not strags, not big fat black women. All right, if you see me with a black woman, she ain't gonna be a strag or a fat black woman. All right, so that eliminates, or a liberal. All right, that eliminates 90% of them. So I'm doing everything opposite of what they want me to do. Right, I was already doing most of it opposite, but then they really don't like it now that I'm free. I actually don't have children. I don't want to have any more children. I could have more children. I don't want to get married. I don't want to raise another man's children. I'm free. I am literally a free agent.
In society, especially the black community, hates that you free. Oh, they hate it, Jack.
So, and I'm a free agent pretty relatively early in life. Like 49 is when I became an official free agent. That was when I sent my son off to college, dropped his ass off. Shout out to my brother, my son in Brooklyn. All right, dropped him off in college. All right, shout out to everybody at the University of Oregon dorm. Shout out to everybody. There's some brothers that listen to me from time to time. But they don't want you to be free. They're like, I'm free at 49, meaning that I don't have a legal attachment to marriage. I don't have a legal attachment to minor children. I don't have a legal attachment to the system. I'm free. And the only way they can put me back on the plantation is to make me get married or get me into a relationship where I'm stuck. They want me. They'll celebrate me. If I presented a woman, especially a black woman, I said, I'm in a relationship with this black woman, they will celebrate me. Oh, see, you learned, you found somebody that really rocked with you. You found somebody that loved you. I told you there was going to be a woman that, you couldn't turn down. They would celebrate this. Why? Because I'm attached to the system.
Once again, let me reiterate, man, there really ain't no right or wrong answer to this as far as being a free agent or being married. This really all depends on what you want in life and out of life, man. Sure. Like I said, most of the dudes I know are actually married and they are happily married. They don't have issues in their marriage because they chose righteous women. Yeah, man. A lot of you brothers are making choices with the women that you shouldn't be making. It's all about butt and breast size for a lot of dudes, man. You know what I mean? But at the same time, like I said, there is much to be said for being put on a plantation and being shackled and enslaved. There's a lot of brothers who are in marriages and they are in fact slaves. They are shackled and they have signed a very bad deal because now they can't get away from this snapdragon that they thought they loved. But upon finding out, like, man, I don't love her and she don't really love me. And we hate each other, but now you stuck. So what do? You sit there and you mad and you aggravated. And you know that if you mess around and you go to court and you try and escape, she gonna fillet your butt, man. She gonna roast you over an open fire. So the choices that you make are very, very important. It's uber important that if you're gonna go ahead and make that move, that you make sure that you find you a righteous woman, man. Me, I found a righteous woman. But in my stupidity, I messed her over. And like I said, we are separated, but that ain't on her. That's on me, man. That is definitely on me. I take that on the chin regularly. I have nightmares about that stuff, fam. I be having dreams. I be reliving that nightmare over and over at least once a week. I'm always having a dream of like coming in and busting my wife with another dude. You know what I mean? But the thing is, it's like, well dang, bro, like, what you expect? Yo, Big Mike, you been out here in these projects nailing down rats, man, for like the past 10 years. She was bound to get tired of that. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it is what it is, man. Make sure that you make the right choices, the correct choices. Get you a good woman in your life, man, if you're going to make that move.
I'm attached to the system. Okay. Since I'm attached to the system, then they know that the woman can pull that rope and pull that Band-Aid off. She can just keep me under control. All right, I got to ask for permission. Then I got to take the knee. I got to bid the knee. I got to do her will. I got to do the will for her kids that she had out of wedlock with another nigga that I don't know. I got to do all these utility. I got to be utility to the system. And then the woman can ruin me just with one allegation, with one I'm not happy. And I'm living like this at 49. And I looked at it and said, dude, I can live like this as long as is this all you gonna do? Chase young skirt? Well, I don't chase young skirt. I always tell you, man, look, that's why people getting it wrong. Look, the reason why I went viral with the free agent lifestyle, which is kind of sad, is that it was the women, right? But I've been saying for 8 years, women are my priority, that life is my priority. But now because people see this, then that's their excuse. It's an attack point. Oh, see, he's just chasing women. First of all, I'm not chasing any goddamn thing. All right, I'm not chasing women. But women are a byproduct to success. That's my main philosophy. Well, when you become successful or you become seen or you make a little bit of money, the women will be happy to be around you for long enough to grab ankles. Right? And they all like it. That's what it is. But hey, that just comes with the territory and you better be prepared for it. But especially if you want to go outside and have a little bit of fun. Right, which I did. I was in the industry that being married was beneficial, so that was a motivator. Number two, I did not want kids out of wedlock, so marriage was a motivator. I didn't want to be a baby daddy. Just like today, like people get pissed when I say I didn't want to be a stepdaddy. I also didn't want to be a baby daddy. So, you got to realize it's not just negative against the fact that people are stepdads.
Yeah, man, that stepdaddy title, that's a tricky one. That's a tricky one, man. Because on YouTube and Red Pill Spaces, man, you get a bad rap, man, when people see that you a stepdaddy, man. But once again, I like to liken it to the martial arts, man. When people have this debate about what's the best martial art, then they'll put two dudes in the octagon, man. This guy, he practices judo. The other guy, he practices karate. And they get down, they start mixing it up, man. And one dude might start getting the best of the other dude. And let's say the guy that does judo beats the guy that knows karate. And automatically, the thought process is, judo is better than karate. But then again, next week, you could put the same practitioners, another judoka and another karate dude in the octagon, but they're different dudes, but they're practicing the same discipline. But this time, the karate guy beats the judo guy. So what must we conclude with that? We must conclude that it is not the art itself that will lend to your victory. What it is that lends to your victory or to your success is your skill level in the art that you have chosen to study. Let's rewind that. It ain't because you know judo. It ain't because you know karate. It is your skill level. How good are you at your judo? How good are you with your karate? If your karate is 2-3 steps above the dude that's doing judo, if you put more time and energy into the art, you're going to come out on top, and vice versa for the guy that knows judo. So what's that got to do with stepdaddies? It's real simple. If you are a stepfather and you got a woman and you got like 2 or 3 stepkids, depending on your skill level as a man, you don't really have nothing to worry about as a stepdaddy, man. Because you're gonna have the woman in pocket, and if you got the woman in pocket, you're gonna have the kids in pocket. And if you're gonna have the woman and the kids in pocket, and if you have to, if it really comes down to it, you will have the baby daddy of the kids in pocket as well. You tell him, don't be coming over my house with that nonsense, man, unless you want to really see what time it is with me. And if you got issues with me disciplining your kids, then you can come and take your kids. And you can say that with a straight face. And you can tell the woman that you're with. And if you don't like it, you can get to stepping too. Because I'm not about to be no stepdaddy in a house where I can't tell the woman or the kids what need to be done. That ain't gonna happen. Like right now, man, my mom, she's transitioned, she's gone to the other side, but the stepdaddy that I got, he's still here, he's still around, and I've never respected him, man. I've never respected homeboy, not in the least, man. When I was younger, I did, of course, but as time went on, and I just seen a lot of weakness in the dude. He would just like the job that he had, like he got fired from his job because he was quote unquote womanizing. He was doing a lot of stuff he wasn't supposed to be doing. He worked for a bank, and there was some sexual harassment allegations against him. He got fired from that. Then he went ahead and he signed up to be like a caretaker or a janitor at a church. So that's when he got holy, religious, and sanctified. So he was actually in the church mopping and cleaning and making sure that the church was spotless and clean. And he was always asking the church folks, the church elders, can he get a raise? So I was paying the pennies, man. He would always come home and he would have a smile on his face, talking about Jesus and love and Jesus. And after he got done scrubbing toilets, you know what I mean? And after he got done begging for a raise, and they would just tell him, hey, you be a good boy, and we'll talk about that sometime next week. And they just kept spinning him, man. You know what I mean? I'm like, well, what kind of a man does this? You know what I mean? So I never had much respect for dude. You know, he's sitting back waiting on Jesus to come back to help him. And he got the pastors and the deacons laughing at him, man, while he's scrubbing toilets. And he coming home smiling and cheesing and it was just disgusting, man. But he wasn't like that when he was younger. When I was a youngster, man, he was a terror, boy. We used to hate to see him come home, boy, because he was real masculine then. But, you know, after I hit high school, I noticed a sharp dip in his testosterone, man. So, yeah, the stepdaddy thing, this is a mixed bag of tricks because Big Mike, I have foster cared and I've adopted. So, to a certain extent, that's kind of like being a stepdaddy because I'm not their biological. But I got free reign almost to pretty much do what I want. And I say almost because they still kind of like wards of the state. And they still come in and they monitor the activity and the progress, what's going on in the house with the kids, man. But I never really cared about that, man. I would still beat the brakes off them boys. And I would always tell, you know, the foster agency, like, you don't like how I do it, take them. But they knew better than that because I was the only one crazy enough to take these boys. Because they was gangbangers. Didn't nobody want to take in no gangbangers, man. So they just left them there with me. But the payoff is, to this day, man, every Father's Day, shoot, at least half of them call me up. Hey, Pop, hey, what's going on? You need anything? You good? Happy Father's Day. Man, they love Big Mike, man. They love Big Mike. More so than my own biological boys, man. Ain't that something? So, yeah, being a stepdaddy can pay off. And it can be a thankless job at the same time. Just all depends on your skill as a man. Depends on if you are a fifth degree practitioner of the game. If you have a high degree in your craft, in your art, then being a stepdaddy, it won't be an issue. It won't be a problem. First of all, before you be a stepdaddy, you got to be a man. And if you're a man, being a stepdaddy, you won't have no issues. Trust me.
I didn't want to have kids out of wedlock, and I successfully achieved that. So by getting married and having my kids under a marriage, that was important to me. And I wanted kids, and I wanted them under a marriage. I did not want them with a random woman. I didn't want them with a baby mama. So I decided to say, by the time I have kids, I'm going to have them under marriage. And I did. All right. So I accomplished that. I didn't want to be a baby daddy. I didn't want to be a stepdaddy. And these were two major motivators for me. Anyway, enough about that shit. All right. Then I got divorced, and then I'm living the free agent life. All right. But yeah, man, you do have to ask yourself in today's climate, why would a man want to get married? Well, there's codependent men. There's men who are lonely. There's men that can only get sex through marriage. Like there's a bunch of reasons why dudes do it. Now, when they actually get into the marriage, they're not prepared. I think men are not prepared for marriage at all, especially men that want women to be submissive, stay-at-home wives, to raise kids. I'm going to tell you, man, if you're a man and you're 25 to 35 and you want to get married, you're not getting that marriage today. There's about a 0 to 1% chance you're going to get that marriage. 99% chance you're not getting that. You're not getting a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah, in 2026, I really wouldn't know because I'm not out there like that. I'm not looking to snag some broad and make her stay home and raise no kids. I know back, let me see. What year was that when I told my wife she's going to stay her ass at home and raise them kids and I was going to take care of all the bills? Shoot, had to been like 1992, 1993 is when I told her that. I wanted her to stay home and look after the kids and take care of the homestead. And she did exactly that. Like I said, I had a good woman, man. I had an excellent woman, man. She was raised down south by her great-grandmother, who, of course, was a super-duper sanctified woman. So that energy, those traits was transferred onto my wife. And I recognized that, man. I was like, I got to snag this up. She's everything I want. She a nice, slim, petite, red bone with some sense. Yeah, man. And how did I repay her? Yeah, boy, I'm trying to tell you, boy. I got that. I got granddaddy's blood in me, man. My granddaddy was a world-famous womanizer. Yes, he was. Yeah, all the men in my family pretty much do what we want and do what we please, how we want to do it and whatnot, man, whether we married or not. We low-key crazy. But the upside to that is we always take care of our kids, man. We always take care of our responsibilities. And for whatever reason, even if we do get married, the females still stick around, man. They still don't want to go nowhere. They still want to be up under us. Now, me, like I said, I could have stayed at home. I could have stayed with the wife, man. But I was itching so bad just to be free, just to be able to do what I wanted to do, and just to be free. Because I'd never known that. I got married straight out of high school, man. And I would often dream about just coming home to my own apartment and looking at the remote control sitting on the table, and it's exactly where I left it when I left. And being able to call up this woman or that woman and tell her to pull on through, and you know what I mean? I never had that, man, and that's all I would obsess about, man. I missed this part. I never went through this. Shoot. So unfortunately, the wife, she had to bear the brunt of me being, I guess you could say, childish. But it is what it is, man. I had to experience that. I had to, Jack.
You're not getting a stay-at-home wife, okay? Especially if you're marrying a black woman, all right? You're not getting that. You're not getting a woman that's going to have sex with you just because you're married or forced into having marital intercourse with you. You're getting a pseudo-feminist, all right? A woman that's downloaded with the software of feminism.
Right.
All right, and she's going to wield that feminist card in your marriage at any particular point. That's what you're getting. It's slim to none and slim just died that your guys are going to get that type of marriage. And most men want that type of marriage. Unfortunately, that's not available to you in these United States of America.
I agree.
Right? It's not available to you. You can possibly get it in another country. All right. But even then, even these young women that I see in the Philippines, they're kind of working and getting educated. There's slight levels of women being independent here as well. But, you know, there's only so far you can take it when your country's highest income on average is 500 pesos a month. I mean, there's only so much you can do, or 500 US dollars, not 500 pesos, 500 US dollars. That's your average income a month. There's only so much independence you can do. And you're going home and the streets flooded and she's walking in waist high level flood, waist high deep level flood. All right. When it's a monsoon or a typhoon. All right. Yeah. I mean, there's only so much independence you can do. And there's massive amount of poverty here in these countries like that. Now, you can actually, if you have enough money, you can actually coax a woman to do it. All right. But you're going to have to get her from the province. Anyway, let's get into this part of the show.
Well, you know what? I think I'm going to do a part 2, man. I'm not going to go ahead and listen to that whole thing, that whole spiel. We need to really get back on there to see what CGA had to say about Mr. Gaskins, man. But we went ahead, we did a solid hour on this one, so I'm going to go ahead and put this to bed. But right about now, y'all could probably tell what side I'm on right about now, man. It would be CGA. CGA's got a much better read and a much better bead on reality than this Gaskins dude. The Gaskins dude, he's filled with some feminine energy, man. I don't know what made him just jump off the porch and just start attacking CGA like that. But to me, it's not very masculine. It's not very manly. It's very feminine, man, and I ain't feeling that. I don't like that. Even though Tony, you know, he said some things that I can agree with, but yet, you know, it's the spirit. It's the spirit that I'm not feeling, man. Yeah, man. So on this round right now, it is definitely CGA all the way. And if y'all like what you're hearing, if you like the discourse and you like the banter, go ahead, man. Like, share, and subscribe to Mack and Macio's Man Cave. There will be more to come. No doubt, man. We will be perusing these YouTube streets. We will be analyzing, critiquing, and reacting to all these sort of controversial YouTube influences of the red pill persuasion. So, yeah, stay locked, y'all. Big Mike and I'm out.